Hey everyone, I am Tony.
And I'm Annalise, and we're from the Rook Room. We are a pop-up all about unique board game events and experiences. We've partnered with XBK, and we have a bunch of nerdy and game-centered events on the calendar over at XBK. So go check out therookroom.com and xbklive.com to learn a little bit more about what we're up to.
Now for today, we have Dang Felton, who will be taking the stage at the upcoming live, local, and loud show at XBK on June 25th. You want to remember that date. XBK also hosts a super cool vinyl happy hour from 6 to 7 p.m. right before all of these shows, and that is for anyone and everyone to come out to. You do not need a ticket for the show. You can come, enjoy some discounted drinks and some great music playing in the background. And then you might as well just get your ticket for the show and stick around at 7:30 when the show starts, because you will not want to miss it. You will not want to miss Dang on stage. And reminder, anyone is welcome for the vinyl happy hour. The show, though, is for ticket holders only. Tickets are $10 and are available along with so many details at xbklive.com. So be sure to go there and check out all their live, local, loud, and get your tickets for, just all the shows all at once. Then you don't even have to worry about any of this. But space is limited, so you want to get those super quick, and masks are required. And don't forget, though, if you can't make one of the shows, you can always live stream the event on Facebook and YouTube that night, and that is for free. So no excuse for missing any of these shows. Now, to the point of all of this, joining us today is Dang Felton. Thank you for joining us. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you two?
Really good.
Doing so awesome. Yes, we are so excited for this. I can't wait to see what you come up with some of our questions here. So some of our prompts for things for you to run around and get for us. Speaking of which, this is Showtime and Tell, and it's a segment for anyone who hasn't joined us before or joining us for the first time, doesn't know how it works, needs a quick reminder. And we get to know the artists and performers for Live, Local, Loud just a little bit better by going beyond those usual interview questions and playing just a little bit of a game, because we are the Rook Room. We do love games. So how this works is we will give 3 prompts and ask Dang to go and find these things around his home and see what he comes up with, and then ask some questions about it and just kind of hang out and chill. So Dang, the most important, very first question is, are you ready to play?
I am. I believe
awesome. So. Great. So here are the 3 things that we're going to need you to find today. First thing, something you love doing when people come to visit. So something you love doing when people come to visit. Prompt number 2, something that inspires you creatively. Something that inspires you creatively. And number 3, because we are the Rook Room, we are a little bit geeky, something in your home that defines your particular brand of geekiness. So people can geek out over pretty much anything, games like us, video games, music, whatever your hobby is, you're probably a geek for it. So something that describes and defines your particular brand of geekiness. You got all that?
No.
It's okay. We can repeat it. So.
I'm excited about the last one because I feel like that's an easy one.
Yeah.
So the first
things
one,
are starting to, wheels are turning in there. Awesome.
First one, when people come to visit.
Yep, something you love to do when people come to visit, and something that inspires you creatively.
People come to visit.
I know, kind of before in concept right now.
Right. But what a good friend of mine did come to visit recently. So I'm just going to grab, let's see here. This might be a little intimidating at first, but this is the closest thing to
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
So this is my 6-inch Wusthof chef's knife. It's kind of my go-to. I better put it down before I make a too big of an error. I really enjoy cooking. I would venture to say it's not so much a hobby as a lifestyle that I got really passionate about over the quarantine and teaching from home. It got to the point where I was cooking for 3-4 hours a night and trying all these new recipes and techniques. and I was enjoying it so much that I started to put together some content, some video content for the first time. And I'm maybe an announcement here. I'm starting a YouTube channel called Dango Mango.
What?
Not so much thought went into the name, but I just kind of liked it.
Oh, that's great.
So yeah, if someone were to come to visit, and yeah, I have some recipes that I feel are kind of foolproof that I love to share.
Ooh, good.
Awesome.
Okay, what are some
So-
of the new ones you've been trying?
Yeah.
Oh, so actually just last night, I've been trying to cut back on proteins, well, animal proteins. So last night I made some pearled barley with some sauteed cabbage, red bell pepper, and a jalapeno to top that with some butter. And I made this, I for the life of me, what I did is I went to YouTube and I typed in cabbage recipes because I had a cabbage. I had a cabbage in my fridge. And it's after some digging, I found that it possibly stems mostly from Korean recipes. It's like a Korean omelet quiche kind of thing. Now, I've worked with eggs a lot. I'm of Southeast Asian descent. I'm Thai, so I cook a lot of Southeast Asian food. So I'm familiar with cooking like Thai omelets with fish sauce and umami flavors and that. But last night was the first night I combined eggs, flour, which I also after some research, after it turned out pretty great. After some research, a lot of people don't use flour. It was the first time I combined eggs, cabbage, red bell pepper as well. And oh, it was so good. I'm due to post a teaser pic later today because I took some good pics last night.
Ooh, oh my God. I can't wait really because this sounds delicious. These are all things that I love. And man, I'm hungry now. I should have eaten lunch before coming here because now you're making me hungry. So this all sounds awesome.
That's so good. We've also been trying to eat, basically zero animal protein, or at least cook zero animal protein this year. So our big thing has been to make scallion pancakes and then just like cook up a bunch of veggies, lots of cabbage, all that kind of stuff to put in there with like some kind of like bulgogi inspired sauce and a bunch of umami to kind of replace some of that missing meat flavor. So you've inspired me now.
Oh, that's great. I wish more people knew about fish sauce. I mean,
yes.
I completely understand the first impression upon opening it and smelling it.
Exactly.
But they probably aren't aware, when they go out and eat at a Southeast Asian restaurant, that it's in like everything. It's so good.
So are we ready to move on to the next one?
Yes. I'd like a reminder of what the second question was.
Something that inspires you creatively.
My first instinct is to just pull up my entire YouTube history because I watch a substantial amount of YouTube for inspiration. But in terms of, I would say, digital worlds that I visit, there's probably a way to say that makes more sense. So I'll just show you. So over the, let me click a button there.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, so pretty. I built a higher end gaming PC over the, there's my finger. And I have to show you guys my messy desk. And I spent like an hour trying to find the perfect wallpaper. Whoa. So that was the Star Trek TNG engineering LCARS system, I think is the operating system that they use. And then I type in my password and then it goes to the Enterprise. It's like a whole scale model of the Enterprise. So
cool.
I spent a decent amount of time doing that the other day. But yeah, my gaming PC, I'd never built one before. Had a lot of time in my hands over quarantine. And I built mine. And then I also, I'm just showing off. I also built my roommates.
Oh my gosh.
Exactly the same specs.
Cool cases, different cases.
Oh, I'm very jealous of her case. She went with the white case. It's like, it's so clean looking.
Yeah.
So I would say for inspiration, it's kind of counterintuitive. I playing video games, open world games, role play games. to take myself into a different lore and a different universe, or just different places, is cathartic, immersive, to use that word again, and it's frees my mind up from let's say the stress of day-to-day things.
100%. Annalise and I are both big video game people too. Her and her partner both have like custom PCs and stuff.
Yeah, we just built
have all
this
the cool,
one.
yeah, the
Just built
lights
this
that
one
over
like
the
make
core.
me jealous.
And then this is mine right here.
Yeah. So
Is
like,
that right up on your desk too?
Mm-hmm.
I'm so jealous. I hate that mine's on the floor. I'd love it just right there where I could see everything.
Right, exactly. You put the lights on there, you got to see them.
yeah.
Mhm.
But it's true that like when you immerse yourself in a world, it can be a digital world, but like that's where I'm like vibing and getting good ideas, is I can just chill out with a game and like be exploring. And I think that might be when I am most inspired. So I am right there with you
Yeah.
in this vibe, in this going, immersing yourself in a digital world and then finding your inspiration there.
It's kind of like when people talk about they get the best ideas in the shower. It's like when you kind of stop thinking about like you and where you are, and you're instead just kind of let your brain start wandering. I think that happens, role-playing games and playing open world stuff, or anything that kind of lets you turn your day-to-day brain off and get into that creative space. So that was a great answer.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
So do you have any particular favorites that you like to immerse yourself in?
Oh gosh. I would say my favorite games would be Skyrim is the first one that comes to mind. Classic. I don't want to say classic Bethesda. Not going too far back. This is a Fallout 4 puzzle that I put together. The all the blue was very frustrating in the sky. So the Fallout games, Elder Scrolls, the Witcher franchise. Oh, I say franchise, but I've only played the third one. I'll admit that. Breath of the Wild. This is a Zelda hat. Breath of the Wild 2, the trailer just dropped. That was really exciting. So for the longest time, just open world RPGs, which kind of led into roguelikes, very quick games. I was kind of missing fast action-paced games for a little bit. But open world RPG, hundreds and hundreds of hours.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm a huge fan of space sci-fi, I would call it. So I've seen every episode of Star Trek TNG and Star Trek Voyager about 10 times each.
Oh my God. That's so much content.
Yeah.
It is. But I mean, since I'm going to be honest, I'd only heard of the Rook Room by name, but your introduction was very well put and informative. I'm going to show off kind of a newer hobby, since I already talked about video games and Star Trek. And I'm just gonna kind of pan down here, flip the camera.
Yes.
And I did get into board games, and this one here, Everdell.
Oh, I was hoping you were going to say that.
Is amazing. It's so cute. There's no reason they had to put that much effort into the artwork. It's adorable. And while I'm on the subject, and I'm very happy that you've heard of it. Have you played the expansions for Everdell?
Not yet. No.
I'm excited to try those. So yeah, that's my kind of this whole area, my Super Nintendo, my PlayStation, my Switch, and all that.
Yes.
Yeah, Everdell. This game is going to sit there for quite some time because it's very, very challenging. So so I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan too.
This is not a surprise at this point. I'm excited to see it.
So Legends of Andor, I was like, okay, so it's a fantasy board game. I'm looking for something kind of in the D&D realm when I'm shopping for it, and I play it and come to find it's one of those games that you lose way more than you win. So that wasn't a great experience. So new nerd kind of realm right there for me.
Yeah. Well, good, man. This has been fun to get to know you this way. Can you tell us a little bit about what we can expect for the upcoming show?
So this show's particularly important for me Before the quarantine, my lifestyle was playing anywhere between 6 to 10, sometimes more shows a month. And those shows could be between 2 to 3 hours, sometimes 4.
Oh my gosh.
Any performer that you talk to, that big 4-hour show, I doubt you'll find someone who loves doing those.
Yeah.
I mean, we all love what we do, but a year and a half going by through quarantine, it's a lot of time to think and process what's next. So moving forward, starting with this XBK show, it's going to be very, very, from start to finish, very thought through, catered for a listening room in particular, because listening rooms are very hard to come by.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take advantage of that. So in preparation for the show, I'm digging through kind of the vault, songs I haven't played in years, possibly, most certainly songs that no one has heard, newer songs. And yeah, I'm very excited for it.
Dang, have you written a lot of those newer songs during the lockdown? And if so, what was that like?
No.
Yeah, exactly, right? We've heard that a lot. I mean, it was hard to feel creative, right?
So I took full advantage of the downtime.
Mhm.
It was almost like being a normal person, like I bought a power drill for the first time in my life. Home projects. I bought a set of wrenches. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
this is what people do. I'm living on a musician's budget for over a decade. Money goes where it needs to go for business purposes.
Mhm.
I really started spending money on life enhancers. I'll call that just comfortable things.
Yeah, for sure. That makes sense. I mean, and if that kind of stuff is going to propel you in the future too, you got to take care of your home and your head and your heart, and then the other stuff can come later too. So that's good. Good. Well,
Absolutely.
I'm excited to hear all of your music. I've enjoyed listening to what I've seen so far. So some new stuff is going to be great.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, well, we hope you had fun today. I know I did, and I'm looking forward to playing some games together in the future. For our audience watching, quick reminder, you can see Dang Felton on stage at XBK coming up this Friday, June 25th at 7:30. And don't forget about the Vinyl Happy Hour from 6 to 7, discounted drinks, anyone can come. That's right before the show. So limited tickets are available for the show, and they're at xbklive.com. And I have to tell you, these have been selling out. So if you're seeing this and you're interested, you got to buy them now because they might already be gone. If you can't get tickets, you can stream it online too on Facebook and YouTube over on the XBK page. So you can watch all that happening if you can't make it. So Dang, thank you again. We had a great time.
Thank you. This was awesome. I love nerding out today.
It was very cathartic for me too. It was really nice to meet both of you. I'm sure we'll keep in touch.
Used to be so young.